You know those days where the shit just keep piling up and you just think it can't get any worse, but then the next day it just get worse and you just kind of look back and wonder how the hell did I get through that? This guy got it worse. Yeah. My name is Adaris and welcome to the review of Happy! With an exclamation part, so you need to yell it. Happy! Yeah, that's moving on. So Happy is about this guy called Nick Sachs. He is an ex-cop who's now killing off bad guys for cash. He's self-destructive to say the least. He does all the booze, all the drugs, and just kind of wants to die, but he doesn't want to commit suicide. He just wants people to kill him, but he can't just let them kill him, so he's fighting back. It's kind of convoluted, but anyways, this man is a fucking maniac. So he kills a couple of kids, or not kids, they're what's in the mid-20s. He kills a couple of men who's trying to murder him, and he thinks that he's finally gonna die. So he wakes up in a hospital, and there he sees Happy. And Happy is this fella right here. It's a bluish unicorn with wings and a big snout. And then it's voiced by Patton Oswalt. So, you know, it's an amazing dude. We like him. We like Happy. We really like Happy. He's awesome. He has this childish charm and naivety and wonder around him. The reason for that is that he's not an hallucination as you might have thought when you first saw this. No, he is an imaginary friend. But not from Nick. No, it's Haley's imaginary friend. See, Haley, she got kidnapped by this garbage Santa Claus at a concert. And she has Happy, who is a real imaginary friend, but only Haley can see him because, again, it's hers. So since she gets kidnapped, she then sends Happy to find Nick because she knows about Nick from her mom, that he used to be a great cop and detective. So she sends Happy to go find Nick so Nick can go find and save Haley. If that is not a fucked up plot, then I don't know what is. But trust me, it is only gonna get more crazy. But I'm not gonna dive into what exactly. Just the fact that the series surrounds Nick Sachs and Happy joining forces together to find Haley. And then the crazy commence. I don't want to say much about this series because you need to experience this shit. I don't know, it kind of sounds like that's some type of gangster who's just trying to explain some kind of new drug. You need to try this drug because it is fucking amazing. It's gonna blow your mind. It's gonna smother your brains on the walls, on the ceiling, on the floor. It's great. That is my apparently gangster impersonation. I'm not very good at this. But anyway, you need to experience this because this is a roller coaster of the most hilarious fun scenes I have ever seen. Period! And some of the most serious and heartbreaking scenes I have seen in a long time. Not period in that aspect, but funny aspect. Jesus. Let's just dive into it. What did I like about this series? First of all, I like the acting, especially the main man, the hardcore badass motherfucker, Nick Sachs. Nick Sachs is played by Christopher Meloni, and I have only seen him in a couple of things, but what jumped into my mind was his one cameo, or just his one role, I guess, from one episode of Scrubs where he was a children's doctor, I think it's called. That's the thing, right? Children's doctor, isn't that the title? But anyway, he's a doctor for children at the hospital, and Cox and the other lady, I can't remember what her name is. It's been a long time since I saw Scrubs, but Cox and his ex-wife are gonna find a doctor for their kid Jack. Cox, he wants this guy, but because he has puppets and he's like him, but he doesn't want to, and he's really sassy. And anyways, I've seen him that, but just the way he acts out comedic scenes with his facial expression it's godlike. I can't explain it. It is just so funny how he brings this character to life in this very, very bizarre world. He could have been mute and he would still be hilarious. He's just that good, and I loved his acting and just his interaction with Happy, because even though Happy is of course fully CGI, he really worked in this scenario. First off, he's an imaginary character, so you don't really expect him to just be put well into the scenes, but they have spent a pretty decent time and effort to put him into the scene and make him feel real, but also the fact that he has this childlike vision of the world. He doesn't swear, he doesn't lie, he doesn't do anything that a child would, especially as pure as Haley. And then you have Nick Sachs, who just swears a lot, he kills people and he beats them up, he doesn't get scared of anything, he wants to die, and just the way they connect is marvelous. And then there's the humor. The humor is pretty special. It is wacky, it is weird, and it's often just based around how people react in certain situations and how bizarre this situation is. So I don't think it will be for everyone. It's not gonna be slapstick. There are a few slapstick scenes in here, yes, but that's not the main focus. The main focus is just the weirdness of it all. And let me just give an example. One of the scenes that made me laugh out loud while I was watching this series, some bad guys are coming after Nick Sachs. So he needs to escape from this apartment. So he fights a few bad guys and then he gets down, and then there is this bad guy with a gun, and he doesn't have any guns on him. He doesn't have any ammunition, firearms whatsoever. What he does has is a spray can. It's flammable spray can. I don't know what it is, if it's oil or hairspray or whatever. He has that and he has a lighter. So what he does is that he stands in cover, he lights the lighter, he pushes the button on the spray can, and he makes fire. He laughs. It's like a maniac. So just to test that it works. For some fucked up reason, he then turns off the hairspray, or the can, or whatever. And then when he's gonna fire it in the face of the bad guy. By the way, this series is rated hard R because people are gonna get dismembered and hurt pretty bad and killed brutally. When he then gets to the guy's face, the lighter won't turn on, so he's just spraying man in the face with this oil or hairspray or whatever it is. And just the way it just pulled the rug under me in that scene, it just made me burst out laughing. It keeps on doing stuff like that, and then something completely different. And again, it's hard to explain what makes this series so hilarious most of the time, but you just need to watch it. And I can't recommend this series enough. And again, I know it is weird, but it also has some serious aspect to it. When this series needs to be serious, when scenes need to be serious, it needs to be terrifying, or there needs to be tense, or anything in between, it really succeeds in doing that. When it seems to be brutal, it makes it brutal. But when also the scenes call for this to lighten up in a dark, weird way, it also does that. Because Sachs is kind of done with everything and he doesn't care anymore. Well, Haley kind of makes him care throughout the series, which is a character development for Nick. So he does become a better person, and also Happy becomes a less better person. I mean, he does get influenced by Nick Sachs in a bad way. I mean, at some point he does cocaine. I'm saying too much here. I'm going circles. Anyway, moving on. I also like the cinematography. I like the way it explains the story or just tells the story. This is in a detective noir kind of fashion, but not really. And it also has a lot of commentary on the modern society and reality shows and that whole mod pile. It has something interesting to say about it without smudging in your face. It makes it integrated into the story in a well-defined way, because again, this is a wacky series. And I know I'm keep circling around the wackiness and the craziness and the funniness, but that is the main focus, the main strength of this series. I also like the acting from the rest of the cast. It is downright solid. It is not something spectacular, it's not Oscar worthy, but it is memorable because of how different the character is. I also like the fact, have you noticed that every actor who's gonna depict an Italian gangster for some reason can't get air through their nose? They all talk the same way. I'm gonna make you an offer you cannot refuse. They do not have air going through their nose. They talk like this. Especially one of the gangsters in this series talk like this all the time. And you're just thinking, what the fuck is wrong with your nose? It sounds like that you are having a cold or something. Just go out in the kitchen and blow out your nose. Clear it. So you can talk normally again. And it might be stereotypical, but again, it works in this series because this is a comedy series with, can you call it comedy? Satire, maybe? I think satire is The real word, yeah. And that's the way the series is structured. It actually managed to deafen the character of Sax. I didn't think they were gonna try to make him more round and give him some character development and character depth, but yeah, they kind of do. And it also has a pretty sad scene at the last episode, especially if you look at it for a kid's point of view. But anyway, this series is masterfully crafted. It is funny as fuck. It is interesting. It has a nice kidnap mystery to it. It keeps you on your toes because it is very, very tense at some points, especially when you consider that Haley is in extreme danger. It makes you laugh. It makes you question your own sanity. And it's just pure entertainment from start to finish. And what can I say? Happy season 1, because I don't know if there's gonna be any more seasons. But for this review 6, happy season 1 is an epic masterpiece. And I know this is the second epic masterpiece I've given to a series just in general this year, and it's to a series. And no, it is not on the same level as Maniac. But I just enjoyed this series so much I couldn't wait to finish it because it was that entertaining. I didn't even want to rewatch it again because it's that funny, it's that entertaining, it's that enjoyable. It has no equal. You can't put it in a category. It is happy. From now on, the category is called happy. This is the most crazy, absurd review I've ever done because I can't really explain why this series works. It does. What I can say though is, first of all, this is a very short series. I believe it's 8 or 10 episodes long. I can't really remember, but it's either 8 or 10. Second of all, after watching just the first episode, it might even just be the first 15 minutes of the first episode, but if you're not on board after the first episode, you're not going to be on board at all. So give the series a chance, especially the first episode. See if it makes you chuckle, see if it makes you question your sanity, or just see if it makes you interested or intrigued in some kind of way and you want to watch more. Because you can binge it in one day, in one sitting, and you are not going to be sorry for that. So I'm pretty biased on this thing. I mean, I love it to death. Just the first 5 minutes of this series and I was sold. So anyway, happy. Have you seen it? Why not if you haven't? Just do it already. But anyway, what did you think about it and what is your favorite happy-ish series? And I mean, you know, the weird, crazy, funny scenes, series, stuff like that. If you've seen Happy, then you know what kind of series I'm talking about. So what is your favorite? Whatever you think, comment below and your thoughts. And as always, until I see you in the next video, remember to stay awesome. Bye! If you're gonna get a sequel, is that gonna be sad? I don't know. I mean, it's based on the comics, so who knows?